Hello and welcome to 16 minutes of yoga in the woods in the sun. Starting in a standing position, hands at heart center, just arriving in this moment, allowing the breath to come in and out, feeling the breath expanding your body, releasing your arms down, bringing your arms up towards the sky, looking back at your hands, and then bringing your hands back to heart center. One more time, hands to the sky, bringing your hands back down, touching your toes, allowing your back to release, releasing your head, not feeling any tension in the neck. Maybe bending the knees one at a time, walking it out. I invite you to rest your elbows in your hands and then come back up to standing. Do that one more time. Arms to the sky, hands sliding down to heart center. And from here, bringing your hands up parallel to the ground, allowing your gaze to follow your hand as you bring it back behind, as far as you can go without straining, just waking up that spine and bringing your hand back towards the front of your body, moving with your own breath, following the gaze with your hand as you slide it back towards the back. Waking up your spine a little bit more, stepping your feet out just a little bit wider than hips width distance, moving into willow tree, tapping your hands on your body, and lifting the heel if that calls to you, if that feels natural. Waking up the spine, waking up the organs, warming up just a little bit. And then coming back slowly to stillness, bringing your feet a little bit further together this time, raising your arms up towards the sky, taking your right hand, grasping your left wrist, getting a nice side stretch, pulling that arm over gently, and then the opposite arm, left hand grasping right wrist. And then from standing, stepping your left foot back in a high lunge, keeping your heel up off from the ground, just allowing your body to warm up. I invite you to do little pulses, warming up the knee, and then stepping your right foot back, just little pulses, warming up the knee in the high lunge position, hands at your hips. Stepping your feet together. From here we'll move to the warrior flow. Step left foot back, hands at your hips, getting a good form, and if it calls to you, raising your arms up towards the sky. Breathing here. And then swiveling your back foot down so your foot is completely on the ground, getting grounded. Raising your arms up parallel towards the ground, gazing at your front hand and allowing your shoulders to rest away from your ears, feeling your belly button pulling in towards the spine, and then resting your elbow on your knee, moving into side angle bend, swinging that arm in front of you to make a nice long line from the tips of your fingers down to the back foot. And then reverse warrior, bringing that back hand to your back leg, raising your right hand towards the sky, and breathing, hands and arms parallel once again to the ground. Step your stance a little bit closer together, arms parallel to the ground, and then cantilevering your hips over the front leg, resting that right hand on your right leg. Left arm is towards the sky. Gaze is neutral. Inhale to release back up to standing and stepping your feet back together again. Stepping the other foot back in a high lunge, hands at your hips, paying attention to your form and getting grounded here before swinging your arms up towards the sky. Really feeling the form. Belly button towards the spine. Hips are square to the front. Breathe. Hands back down towards the hips, swiveling that back leg and that back foot down, getting grounded and stable and strong. Keeping that front leg deeply bent as you raise your arms parallel to the ground. Gaze is at the front hand. Back leg is nice and strong and stable. And then bringing your elbow down to your leg, swinging that arm in front of you, making a long line from the tips of your fingers down to the back leg. Really opening your heart up and getting that really twisted motion, your heart open. And then bringing your right arm back and your right hand resting on that right leg. Left hand is reaching towards the sky. Front leg is still deeply bent. Gazing at your hand in the sky or neutral. Bring your hands to your hips and stepping forward, maybe shaking it out a bit. And then we'll move to tree pose, bringing your right foot towards your left leg, getting nice and grounded. You can lift your right foot, resting that foot on the left leg, pressing in towards the leg. Leg is pressing towards the foot. And when you're ready, you can lift your hands out to full tree pose, where you can keep your hands at your hips or in prayer position at heart center, whatever you need to have today. And releasing that foot back down to the ground, moving to the other side. Right leg is deeply grounded as you slide your left heel towards the inner side of your right ankle, and if it's calling to you, you can slide it up towards your calf, never on the knee, on the calf or your inner thigh. Gaze is nice and grounded. If you're able to, extend those branches, full tree pose. Inhale to release, hands back to heart center, and then raising your arms up towards the sky, releasing your hands towards your toes. And then sliding back slowly to standing. Raising your arms up towards the sky once again, sliding your hands down to heart center, and then down to touching your toes once again. Cradling your elbows with your hands, rocking side to side, releasing your neck, releasing your back body, and then slowly come to standing, feeling each vertebrae. From here, stepping wide, bringing those toes a little bit together, a little bit towards the center as you have your hands at your hips, straight back, bending from the waist, keeping your knees in a micro bend, and cradling those elbows again with your hands, just allowing yourself to fall forward in a wide standing forward bend. If you'd like to take it a little further, you can walk your hands over to your right leg and then walk your hands over to your left leg, getting a little bit of a deeper hamstring stretch in those legs. If not, keep your hands cradled, hands at your hips, and then stepping your feet together as you come back up to standing. Raising your arms up towards the sky. We'll sit back into chair pose, making sure your knees are not going over your toes. Back is nice and straight, and then come back up to standing. And we'll try this one more time. Hands at prayer position as you twist your body to the left and bringing your elbow to your knee to get a little bit of a deeper twist. You can press that knee into the elbow and the elbow into the knee. Moving to the other side, elbow on the knee, knee on the elbow, pressing, feeling a nice twist in chair position. And coming back to center and slowly raising up your hands up towards the sky, hands to heart center. Bringing your right ankle over your left knee, sinking your hips down again into a figure four. Your leg is in a figure four as you get a nice stretch in that right hip. Bring your foot back down, and then switching sides to the left ankle over the right knee, sinking those hips down, sinking the hips down, and getting a nice stretch in the left hip in the figure four. You might feel one side is a little bit tighter than the other, totally normal. And back to standing, arms up overhead, swan dive down to the toes, hands to shins, flat back, releasing the arms, and then slowly up to standing, arms up overhead, prayer center, arms up overhead once again, swan dive down to the toes, hands to shins, straight back, cradle the arms, and then slowly up to standing, arms up towards the sky, hands to heart center. One more time, swan dive down to your toes, flat back, hands to shins, cradling your arms, bending your knees generously, bringing your arms behind your knees, giving yourself a big hug, and breathe. Releasing the arms and then slowly up to standing. Neck is the last to come up. Hands up towards the sky to heart center, and we'll move into mountain pose, bringing your arms down to your sides, palms open towards the front body, engaging every single muscle from your toes all the way up your legs, your shins, your thighs, your core, all the way up. From here, we'll do another flow, bringing your hands up towards the sky, hands to toes, then shins, raising up slowly towards the sky. We'll do that 2 more times at your own pace to close out this 16-minute slow. One more time. Namaste.